Hello and welcome back. So today we are going to see how we can create an AI machine learning gender prediction model. So let's get into it. So we will use Scikit-learn. So it is a machine learning library. So we will say from Scikit-learn dot model selection import train test split, and then so this line will Scikit-learn. So this line will allow us to split our dataset into two parts, the training part and testing part. So again, we need to create to get another part from Scikit-learn, a machine learning model. So another part which we want is a piece of code which help us to convert the name characters to numbers. So because computers understand numbers so in reality, so that's why we need to say from Scikit-learn dot feature extraction. So in there dot text we need to import count vectorize. And then so this one, this count vectorizer will help us to convert string characters into numbers, to just corresponding numbers, so that our machine learning model can figure it out. So then can help us to classify some characters. So again, we need to import the model which we will use to classify. It's like a text classifier. So in this case, we will get another piece of code from Scikit-learn, a machine learning model. So we say from Scikit-learn dot naive base import multinomial NB. So this line of code where is a simple machine learning model. It's a character classifier will help us to classify some names. So as you know, we are developing a gender prediction model to which we pass some name, and this model will predict whether the name is a female or is a male one. So we will use this naive based simple model to classify those names to their corresponding genders. So again, we need to import a pipeline from Scikit-learn machine learning model, which will help us to combine both this count vectorizer and this multinomial model into one pipeline, into one thing. So we say from Scikit-learn dot pipeline. So we will import make a pipeline. Sorry, I have to use small letters from Scikit-learn dot pipe line pipeline import make pipeline. From Scikit-learn.pipeline import make pipeline. So we need one more import from Scikit-learn.metrics import accuracy score. So this line of code will tell us the accuracy of our prediction model. So like how confident is our model. So we see how our model is confident while predicting. So for example, if we pass a name John, so we see how the model is going to predict it. So it will show us the confidence or the accuracy of the model. So let's move on. So the next plan now is to load our dataset. So I have a dataset here. So let me show it to you. I have a list of names. As you can see, so this file contains 10,000 names. It mixes both females and males names. So as you can see, I have a column for name and then a column for gender. So we will use this file of names, this CSV file, as a data set to our model. So we will feed our model by using and train our model by using this list of names. So let me close it. So the next step now is to load our data set now. So this is how we'll do it. We say data is equal to pandas. So in this case, we don't have pandas yet imported, so we import it. So we say import pandas as PD. So this pandas, it is a library, Python library, which deals a lot with numbers and tables. So that's why we are going to use it to read that table of names I showed to you earlier. So I will say pd.read CSV, and then I have to pass the path to my dataset. So I will say content /names.csv. So in this case, I'm telling this library, my pandas library imported above here, to read my dataset from this folder, from content folder. So if we open this sidebar on Google Colab, so wait for it to connect. So my bad, is taking a lot of time connecting. So let's continue while waiting the line time to connect. So it is connected now. Let me show it to you. So when you open this sidebar, as you can see here, we have some folders. I will expand it a little bit. So you can see I have a folder called the contents. I will expand it. So in this folder is where I'm going to put my data set. So I will go to my computer again. Then I will drag it into this content folder. So after dragging it, so now you're going to continue. I will cross this sidebar. So now we are sure that we have our dataset loaded into our code. So let's continue. Now the next step is to extract the features from this data and labels. So we say I will have two variables, x data. So in this case, we will use our column names. So we say name. So if you remember, we have a name column and we have gender column. So we say y is equal to data, then gender, and then so after getting the features and labels from our dataset, now the next step is to split our data into two parts. So we need data for training and a data for testing. So we say x train, then x test, y train, then y test, and so we get this from, so now we are going to use our train test split module. So we will say in here we are going to pass our variables x and y, and then after that we are going to say we are going to specify the test size. So we say test size is equal to 0.2. So meaning that meaning that the test size for our model, or we will split our data into two parts. The one is for testing and the other one is for training. So the test size is going to be 20%. So then the rest of our data set, 80%, is going to be for training. So then we say random state is equal to 42. So this means that so every time we learn our model, so every time we run this cell, the split should be the same. So after that we are done with splitting our data set into two parts, training and testing data. So now the next step is to create the pipeline model. So in this case, we will use our make a pipeline module. So in this case, we are going to say model is equal to make pipeline. So now this make a pipeline is going to receive some few parameters. Analyzer, we need analyzer. Now analyzer, then nggram range, which is equal to 2 and 3. Then we also pass our character classifier model from this module naive base. So we'll pass it here like this. Comma again multi. So let me grab it like this, and we will call it. So this analyzer will tell our model to analyze characters. So instead of entire word, but it will analyze a character. It will take a string, then analyze each and every character. Then this ng gram range to 3. So during the character analysis or the word analysis, it will analyze in two separate modes. So the first one is to analyze the word by grouping two characters, and then the second one is to group characters into three characters. So let me see why this one is not working. He's saying positional argument cannot appear after keyword argument. Let's see why. It's this one is not supposed to be here. So we need the first to pass all of that into count vectorizer first, just like this. Count vectorizer, and then after our classifier, our model classifier, just like this. So now we can see the error is gone. So after making our pipeline, so now the next step is to train our model. So by now we have a model. So the next step is train it. So we are going to train our model. We say model dot fit. So we'll pass our X train and Y train. X train then Y train. So now this line will help us to train our model. So after training our model, the next step is to test it. So we have passed the training dataset. After passing the training dataset, now we are going to test our model. Then we say model dot predict, because we will need to use this function so we can get predictions back. So we say model dot predict, then we will pass the testing dataset. Now we say x test like this. So let me assign our prediction into a variable predictions, just like this. Now that we have our model from this line, we've provided the training dataset, remember, which is going to be 80%, and then we are testing our model with the X test, which is going to be 20%. So now the next step is to get the accuracy of our model. So because we would like to see how confident is our model. So then we say accuracy is equal to, so in here we are going to use this accuracy score. Then we say accuracy is equal to accuracy score. So we are going to put our y test, this one, and then our predictions. So after getting our accuracy, let me print out whatever the accuracy from our model. Then I will say print accuracy. Then whatever accuracy we will get from our model. So now let's print it out and see. Let's run this cell and see if everything is correct. Now we hit run. So now we have the squiggly lines here. Let me see why. It is saying that the parameter must be an instance of tuple got so instead, meaning that our pipeline has, let me see, there is invalid parameter. And see, let's check our pipeline. Make a pipeline count vectorizer, then analyzer character, n-gram range. So we were using the long implementation. We need to supply a tuple. So even the error was revealing that we should use a tuple. So right here. So and we were using, I was using curly bracket, so which is long. So now let me run it again and see. So now we are lucky enough, our error is gone. So now you can see the confidence or the accuracy is almost 98.2. So let's continue now. We have done the big part of our model. So let me recall, we imported these pandas. It is a Python library which deals a lot of math, operations and tables. So now we use this Scikit-learn machine learning library. So now we used this module, and from this module we imported this training test split code base. Then after that, from Scikit-learn, again we imported this feature extraction text, and then from this module we imported this count vectorizer, which will help us to convert characters into numbers, just for our computers to understand some characters. And then again we imported this from this naive base module. We imported multinomial NB. This will be a simple string classifiers. It is a classifier model. And then again, from this Scikit-learn machine learning library, we went ahead in this module called pipeline. They imported make a pipeline function, and then this function will allow us to combine this count vectorizer and multinomial or NB, this classifier model, into one thing. And then we got this matrix from Scikit-learn again. So into this matrix we are importing accuracy score, so which is going to help us get the accuracy or the confidence of our model. And then after importing the necessary dependencies for our model, then we went ahead and read our data set. As you can see, we are getting this under content folder. From this, if we open this sidebar and then expand this content folder, you can see there is a names.csv dataset. It's a huge file with 10,000 of names, both female and males. Let me close it again. Then after that, we took some features and labels from our dataset. So we used both columns to get the real data. So this one will get the names under name column, and then this one will get genders under gender column. So after getting features and labels, so we splitted our dataset into two parts: the training data and the test data. As you can see, for both names and both names and genders. And again, then after we used it, train, test, split, this function right here we got from model selection module from Scikit-learn. So we passed this x and y, so this data right here, and then after we specified the size of the test of the testing data. So we said it is going to be 0.2, which is 20%. And then we said the consistency, it is going to be 42, which means, so every time when you run this data set, the test size should be the same and the training size should be the same. Then again, the line down below here, we are now creating our model by using the pipeline, by using this make a pipeline function from Scikit-learn. Then we are combining this vectorizer function from feature extraction. And then we passed some few parameters, this analyzer, which will tell the model to analyze each character instead of the entire word. And then we passed this any gram range. This vector will this parameter will tell the model to analyze the characters into two groups. The first group will analyze characters into, will combine two characters, and then the second group is combine 3 characters. Then this multinomial NB is the actual model classifier, which will classify the names, whether if a name is supposed to be gender or female. So then after getting the model, now we are going to train the model. So as you can see, we are passing the training dataset, this X train and a Y train. One will be for names, the other one will be for gender. So after training the data, the model, now it is a time to get predictions. So here we are testing our model by supplying the list of the data set, which is going to be the 80% of testing data set. After testing it, now we are getting the accuracy. So to get accuracy, we will use this accuracy score. And then we have to put our Y test and the predictions we got from this line. So after that, we are now printing the accuracy. So the next step now is to see if, so what will happen if we pass the name, or if someone come and pass like a random name. So I want to see how our model will behave. So let's say we need to learn our model, so and we need to get some input from user keyboard. So I will say, let me use a loop because I want to learn this model infinitely, or I need to learn it until user says he want to exit from this model. So again, so I'm going to say while true, so I will get input, or user input is equal, user input is equal to input. I will say enter a name for prediction, or type quit to exit from this model, and then I need to strip some white spaces from left to right, and then I want to check if the user input is quit. So if user types quit, then I want to exit from this model. So like I want to stop the model from running. So I will say if user input, let me copy this one, if user input dot lower, because I want to convert whatever characters from someone else's keyboard, then I will say if it is equal to quit, then I want to break from this loop, then I will say break. So this will tell our loop to stop. So in this case, our model will stop from running. Then if it is not the case, else I'm going to predict. So I'm going to get prediction. So I will say prediction is equal to our model dot predict So in this case, I will need to put the user input. So and then we need to get the result, the first result. So after doing this, let me log whatever our prediction is. I will say print. Let's say I will use Python format string. Then I will say I will say user input. User input is predicted as, and then I will put prediction is predicted as, let me see, prediction. Let me grab this one as prediction. So let me make this one upper. So then let's learn it and see if everything is okay now. So okay, now it is asking me to enter a name for prediction. So let me say John. Let's see. So now you can see John is predicted as male. Then say Anna. I'm getting female, which is correct. So then let me type quit to exit from this model. Now you can see my model is stopping from running. So now this is how you can create a machine learning model which will help you to predict gender from names. So to make your model work very good, have to supply a dataset with like the enough amount of names. So in this case, we are supplying 10,000 names. That file combines both females and males, but it will be better if you supply more than that. So thank you for watching.